Hey, yo, what up? You know what it is? It's not a podcast. It's just my thoughts with Ron Markman. Thank you for tuning in. You seen the thumbnail. You see the headline. You know what it is. For me, there's no debate. I just want to get into it. But if you feel different, please hit me in the comments. You know I talk back in the comments. You know, as long as it's no disrespect, we can always have a healthy debate. But rap of the year 2024, I think hands down is Kendrick Lamar. I don't think there's any debate if we're being objective. For one, right, starts with engaging in this battle with Drake and Cole at the beginning, right? When Dot dropped his verse on Like That, like he just threw down the gauntlet, drew the line in the sand. He set the pace for how this was gonna go. If this was boxing, for those who watch boxing, right? He's in the ring, he's forcing the action. Like That was something, because Dot could have easily ignored first person shooter. Like, I don't know that was a have to respond situation. It could have kept on going subliminal and friendly fade or friendly competitive from there. But unlike that, Dot, motherfuck the big three, is just Big Me. Really threw down the gauntlet, really draw the line, really forced the action. Again, on some rap shit. The whole thing got ugly for a whole other reason, and we don't have to get into that. But Like That set the tone, and and then we got everything that we got, right? And I'll run it down. But from a bird's eye view, I believe this year and what Kendrick did overall this year will represent a shift in hip hop. I firmly believe that. I think he's gonna swing the pendulum a bit, similarly to how we talk about how DMX's debut is Dark and Hell is Hot shifted hip hop back to the streets when Bad Boy had it super commercial and super shiny. If you're from that era, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, likely you heard about it. Likely you hear about this lore about how DMX's Dark and Hell is Hot was a shift in hip hop. Also, if we go back and think about Kanye West versus 50 Cent, the sales battle was another shift in hip hop, right? Like, really spoke up for artists who aren't from the street, who are a little more artsy when the game was so alpha male and you had to be from the streets and you had to have this, just authentic street story to really break through in hip hop. Like Kanye, there was a shift when Kanye outsold 50. And I think a similar shift is going to happen here. I think going forward for the next couple of years, fans are going to demand more cultural authenticity from artists. We're always going to have pop acts in hip hop. Like, that'll always be there. But, there always will also be a degree of artists playing a role or putting on in their raps, right? But I think there's going to be a degree to which the audience will accept that is going to shift. I just think it's a pendulum. I think the audience is going to be super receptive, even more so than they already are, to artists who are just really authentic, culturally and authentic with their message. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Again, it kind of reminds me of DMX. Kind of reminds me of Kanye beating 50. I think we're going to look back on this year, 2024, Kendrick Lamar shifted the game. But, if we just look at his year, right? In March, we got Like That. Then the battle starts to kick off and a couple of weeks go by. But, we're talking about Like That, his verse on Like That. We're talking about Euphoria. We're talking about 616 in LA. We're talking about Meet the Grams, Not Like Us. We got the biggest live event, and that represents the biggest battle that hip hop has ever seen between Kendrick and Drake. So we got that, and we got all of these incredible records. Like, Not Like Us is going to be the one that everybody remembers, but Euphoria is mean. 616 in LA, when we first heard Meet the Grams, how that made us feel. The whole, he could drop like a EP just based off of the diss records, right? Then we got the biggest live event, I think the most impactful live event, a statement live event this year with the Pop Out concert, and really set the tone for what he was going to do on the album by just bringing so much of LA together on that stage. We got Watch the Party Die. We got the Super Bowl halftime announcement. We got 5 Grammy nominations. I think it was 5. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we got the Grammy nominations for Kendrick. Then we got the album GNX. And y'all know I'm not a stats guy. I'm not a sales over everything guy. I think culturally, like, culture impact is what we're going to remember the most. You're going to forget what GNX sold the first week, right? You're gonna forget how many weeks Not Like Us hit number one, but you're gonna remember the records and you're gonna remember the impact. So when we look back 10 years from now, I think we're just gonna think about Kendrick. Not Like Us, song of the year, hands down. Like I said, biggest battle in hip hop history. We still talk about Jay-Z and Nas to this day, and that was 2021. And this is 2024 going to 2025. Like, we're going on 25 years of we hip hop still ain't over Jay-Z versus Nas. I think we're gonna look back 10 years from now, 20 years from now, we still gonna talk about Kendrick versus Drake. But Not Like Us, song of the year, debuted at number one in a short week and was number one for several weeks on the Billboard Hot 100. Like That was a number one single on the Hot 100. Euphoria was a number 3 single. Squabble Up, another number one. TV Off, Luther from GNX, all charted in the top 10. GNX itself debuted at number one on the album chart. And again, I'm not a numbers over everything guy, but I don't ignore the numbers either. I think when you have the cultural impact and the numbers to back it up, this is what happens here. I just believe, all things considered, this is going to be remembered as Kendrick year. We're going to look back on 2024 if you had to give somebody the crown. I used to do this thing for MTV. I don't know if y'all remember. It was called Hottest MCs, where we would I was part of that panel where we would rank the top 10 rappers of every year. If we still had that, if we still was doing that, unequivocally, undeniably, Kendrick is number one this year. Who's number two? We can talk about that in the comments too. Let me know, who do you think ranks number two. But number one, Kendrick Lamar, top rapper 2024. Let me know. I don't think it's a debate. I firmly believe I'm gonna get a lot of comments agreeing with me. That's not what I'm looking for. This is just what I believe. I'm also not looking to be controversial either, but I'll be interested in. I'm really interested in what y'all think, especially those who think have an opposing view on it that makes sense. So let me know. Hit me in the comments, like, subscribe. You know what it is. Until the next time. Peace.